Got my Coke Zero today. No more Diet Coke for me. Thank goodness. I was going to die if I had one more Diet Coke, I'll tell you what. I'm just going to wait for a minute for a few people to pop in before I start. Hey, Karen. Glad you're here. I need the moral support today. Hey, Vincent. Good to see you. Well, there y'all are. Good morning. Oh, did you hear me say y'all? Like I'm a good old Southern girl? Look at that. A little bit rubbed off on me while I was over there. Let's see. Who is here? Teresa, Keto Fat Girl No More. Hey, Vincent, I didn't realize you had changed your channel name. I like it. Very Vincent. Very cool. I like it. Epiphany London and PhD Natural Me. All right. Welcome, 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 you guys. So I'm sure you guys can tell, but I don't know. Maybe you guys can't tell, but my face looks extremely fat today. It's driving me batty, like really batty, that my face looks so fat. Oh, hi, Maria. Maria Hemsworth is here. And did I skip someone? I think I did. Danielle McBrayer is here. Hello. I love you guys, you early guys. Oh, you think I look beautiful? Thank you. I appreciate it. Bless O Me is here. Welcome. Oh, yes. Kathy from Totally Kathy is fantastic. She's just, anything she says, you should listen because she's fantastic. Nancy Stoltenberg is here. Hello. Thank you. I appreciate you guys saying I look pretty because I feel anything but. I put the makeup on. 90% of the reason I put the makeup on today was because I didn't want to cry. It has been a rough morning. So, I guess I'll just hit in on it. There's a few of you here now, so I'm just going to start. First of all, the weigh-in. I got on the scale this morning after my trip. First time I gotten on the scale, and I'm not kidding. I almost chucked the scale out the window. I was that upset. So I weighed in today at 208. So that's basically 14-pound gain, which is literally insanity. I'm kind of pissed a little bit, if I can say that word on YouTube. Probably can. I'm kind of mad about it. You guys know that going on this trip was not my first choice. I mean, I love my brother and I wanted to be there for him, and being at his wedding was fantastically amazing. I loved being able to support him, but I was really worried that something like this was going to happen. And emotionally, I just really didn't want to have to deal with it. Because, you know, weight loss is a roller coaster of emotions. And some days you feel really up, and other days you just don't. And this weekend has been really, really difficult for me, physically and emotionally. And to come home and have that huge of a gain. I mean, I thought I was going to gain, but I didn't think I would gain that much. Like, never in a million years did I think I was going to see above, you know, even 200 pounds, let alone 208 pounds. And you know that 200-pound threshold is sucky. It is not fun to go from being in the 100s to going back to being in the 200s. We all know that is not fun. And it happens, and it's happened before. But it's definitely not a pleasant experience. And this trip was really difficult on me physically and also mentally because I felt like I was traveling with my mom and my sister, who I'm kind of used to being with, but I was also traveling with my brother that I don't usually spend a lot of time with. He was really, I felt like he was really impatient with me, and I felt like he didn't really like it when I was being myself. And so the whole time, I was just trying to like rein myself in, you know? Rein myself in. Not talk too much, not get too emotional. And you know, when you're trying not to be yourself, when you're trying to like be what other people want you to be in order to get through a situation, it's mentally taxing. And I felt like I never really got any rest on the trip because I felt like I was constantly battling this emotional thing. I don't know. It was really silly. Probably it was all in my head, but it was happening nonetheless. And I also, none of my family, except for my sister, I think, and my mom, were really comfortable with me vlogging. They specifically asked me not to vlog in certain places, and so I kind of just like got a little bit deflated, and I didn't vlog at all. I hardly recorded a thing. In fact, I hardly took photos. I was looking through my phone and I was like, I don't even have hardly any photos from the trip, and I didn't take very much video at all. Just a little snippet here and there to maybe stick into my kids' vlog that they were trying to make, but I don't even know if they got any footage. So we probably have like basically a pot of nothing between the two of us. I don't know, between the two groups. Anyway, it's been kind of hard for me to make the transition back from that into life. Doing the live chat today, I decided it was necessary. My views dropped tremendously on my channel without having my weigh-in, just like I imagined it would, and that really hurts. And I mean, I know you guys can't come and watch videos again. If you've already seen them, you've already seen them, and that's just how it is. And if I don't make a new video, there's nothing to watch, and then, you know, views go down. That's just life. But it's still hard to see it, you know, when you come back and you check your analytics and you realize that basically you didn't exist last weekend, which is fine. But I will tell you, the most positive thing of my trip, and the best part, and the part that made the whole trip worth it, not only my brother's wedding, was meeting Karen Rothwell and Kylan and Wendy and Kylan's mom, who drove I don't know how many hours to come and see me out there in Alabama. And oh my gosh, though that 2 hours that I spent with them in the forest, smacking off all kinds of bugs I'd never seen and worrying about banana spiders and whatever was going to crawl up my leg. We had a blast, and I got to be me for 2 hours on the trip and chat and feel happy and feel joyful and enjoy these lovely women who came just to see me because they were inspired by me, and I was just absolutely grateful for that experience. It made traveling clear to the other side of the world, felt like, other side of the country, so much more bearable and more fun for me because I got to have that experience. And what's really funny is that, like, all the other people that were around, they were like, so how'd your little thing go? And I don't think I could describe it in a way that explained how much it meant to me. They just kind of didn't get it, you know? They dumped me off at a gas station to meet these girls from the internet that I'd never met in my life and just walked away from me. And that's a good thing you guys were nice, because who knows what could have happened, right? But Karen, she's been my pal for a while now, and meeting her, it was like, well, meeting you, Karen, since I know you're watching, it was like meeting a sister that I've always known. And I could feel us connected right at the heart, and gosh, it was really tough to leave you. And the whole time at the wedding, I was wishing you had stayed, because I really could have used a friend to hang out with and commiserate about the lack of keto foods available. It would have been fun. But it was absolutely endearing to meet all of you guys, and I wish we could have met more. I know there were some that missed out because they missed the live chat last week, and I wish I could make trips like that all the time, but I just can't right now. Maybe someday in the future when I get rich off YouTube. You're right. Then maybe I'll like travel the world, but right now, you know, I got to stay here in good old Utah for the most part. Now, I know I'm really swollen. My eyelids are even swollen. It looks like I've been up all night crying, which I was not. I actually ended up last night in the Instacare with Jasper because he shut his own pinky finger. Oh, wait, no, it wasn't his pinky finger. It was his pointer finger in the back door hinge side of the door. He pushed the door shut like this to help us out, and his little finger got crushed in the hinge. So we actually spent the night over at the Instacare getting him checked out, and thankfully it was not broken. It's bruised pretty bad. He's got a pretty bad blood blister under his finger, but not so bad that they had to lance it or anything. So he's just wearing a little splint until he feels a little better, and he'll be okay. But yeah, it was like, you know, welcome home, Mom, right? Got to get right back into the grind. And I've got 2 classes I got to teach in 2 days that I haven't even looked at the curriculum, and I just have to dive right back in without a break. So I'm feeling a little bit emotionally stretched at the moment. And Not sure exactly how to get back to feeling in my Zen mode again. I feel I feel a lot of cortisol in there going on. My face is really puffy. My hands are really puffy. My feet and my ankles are killer puffy, which is weird because over there in Alabama and Georgia, they didn't seem so bad. But when I got back here to Utah, they were giant. Last night, I was like, great, my shoes that I just bought don't even fit me. So I'm just going to have to wait it out, I guess, until my body gets a clue and dumps it off of me again. It's so annoying. So annoying. It's really annoying. Suffice it to say. And another thing that happened while I was over there, I guess combination, you also got to remember. So Wednesday, I don't know if you guys have seen my video on hide and seek, but on Wednesday, I actually joined my daughter's ballet class, and I did an hour and a half long ballet, an intermediate advanced conditioning class on Wednesday. If you haven't seen that video, get over there, hide and seek, and watch it, because it's hilarious. Hilarious. Girls. Boys, I don't know if you want to see that. It's rough. But I did it. And so Wednesday I had that class. And then Thursday, I did some video and helped at an event for my kids all day long. And it was a lot of walking, a lot of running. I was in a battle. I got hit a lot by foam swords. Doesn't feel that great. Dodging arrows, things like that. It was super fun, but it was also a lot of physical exertion on my poor muscles that I had killed the day before in ballet. And then the next day, I flew straight out to Alabama. Well, I flew into Atlanta, 4-hour trip, and then I had to ride in a car for 3 hours to Ozark, Alabama, which is where our hotel was. We didn't get in until I think it was 3 o'clock, 2 or 3 a.m. Alabama time. And and then we had the wedding, and we went and did the little bit. It was a little walking. It wasn't a lot of walking to get into the woods to meet the girls. And then I went to the wedding, and I kind of had to be a runner, and I ran up and down this hill a bit. And I started to feel like a muscle was tightening up in my outer thigh area. And it was hurting, but it wasn't like killing me. And so I was just kind of pushing through it. But Sunday morning, I got up and I realized, wow, it is really stiff. I should probably stretch it out. And I was stretching it out a little bit cold without warming up my muscles or anything. That was probably a mistake. And I decided to get down on the floor to try and do a lunge to try and stretch out that big side muscle. And that was apparently a huge mistake, because when I kneeled down on the floor, it seized up like somebody stabbed me in the leg. And I couldn't move for about 10 minutes. I was just sitting on the floor on my knees because I couldn't get up or move or lay down or do anything. I had to stay in that position. Eventually, I got up and I got in the shower and got some heat on it, tried stretching it out, but it just was killing me. And so my sister suggested that I take a muscle relaxer that she happened to have for her back. She's like, oh, it's really awesome. It just kills the pain in the nerves, and you'll feel loosey-goosey, and, you might feel a little bit tired. That was an understatement. It was literally like she gave me a horse tranquilizer. Guys, I could not open my eyes. They took pictures of me asleep in the car like this. Because apparently I was so out. I was out all day on Sunday. So we traveled all the way back to Atlanta. Well, we traveled to a restaurant. We went to the restaurant yet again for the millionth time. There was nothing that I could eat that was decent. I felt like I was starving the whole trip, but I know I overate my macros every day. I basically lived on protein bars and cheese and whatever I could get my hands on whenever we would stop at a gas station. It was really hard. It was really hard. I'm sure I probably kicked myself out of ketosis with all those protein bars. I don't know. I definitely started swelling up, I'll tell you what, gas and bloating, kind of, and so I was like, great, I'm probably out of ketosis now. I never felt satisfied with the food. No matter what I ate, I never felt satisfied, and it was really frustrating. I just really wanted a good home-cooked meal. Was missing Chef Dave something fierce, I'll tell you, for multiple reasons. Multiple reasons. I just felt like I couldn't get any food. Like there was never food I could eat, and I was just like eating the dregs, or I don't know why. I just felt that way. I mean, when I go back and look at what I ate eggs and bacon. I mean, I had meals. I just didn't feel like they were meals. I don't know how else to describe it. So on Sunday, I basically slept the whole day away. We got to this restaurant. All they had was freaking fried fish, fried chicken, fried hush puppies, fried okra, and I'm just sitting there going like this at the buffet, like, really? Really? I was mad. I was like, where's the beef? It was frustrating. We finally noticed they had put out some pork loin, so we got a couple of pieces of pork loin and some salad, and that was it for lunch. And then we got back in the car, and I went right back to sleep. Like I was out. Could not open my eyes. I would wake up, and I would kind of hear the conversation that was going on in the car, and it was like I was hearing it from another planet. And I would be annoyed because my neck was constantly this way, and I would put it back this way, and the next time I woke up, it was still back over here. And I couldn't get comfortable, and I felt like miserable, and yet I couldn't wake up enough to like make myself comfortable. Oh my gosh, you guys, it was killer. We finally get to the hotel, and I think, oh yay, I'm gonna go get to stretch out on the bed for a minute before we have to go to the aquarium. And that's when I hear my brother say, we're not stopping, if you need to go in, go to the bathroom, go ahead, but we're going straight to the aquarium. And I'm just like, oh my Lord. Okay. So I like kind of woke up enough to go in the aquarium. I still couldn't walk. And I'm just kind of walking around looking at all the fish like I'm high. I swear. We go into this huge room. This aquarium is literally bigger than my house. Like, it is huge. And I sit down and I'm watching these fish, and I'm just kind of going like this. Hi, fishy. It was so bad. And the whole time I kept thinking, man, my kids would love this. It was bad. Thankfully, my sister really enjoyed the trip to the aquarium. I kind of remember some of it. Thankfully, we took a few pictures in there. I was so out of it. Like, it's literally a miracle I could walk at all. It was bad. I don't think my family had a clue how bad it was. I don't think that they realized how bad off I was, like emotionally, physically, mentally. I was a mess. And then the pill on top of that just made it. Yeah, so by the next morning, I was feeling a little better. I did my makeup, and people were like, oh, wow, you don't look like Night of the Living Dead today. Yay. But this was one of the funniest things that happened. So we go to the Atlanta airport, and we're getting ready to go, and I've got to go to the bathroom again. And I'm going into the bathroom, and this lady goes to ask me something. She goes, oh, when? And then she stopped. And then I turned to her and I said, oh, what did you want to know? And she's like, well, I was going to ask you when you were due. I about died laughing. I'm like, oh, honey, I've been there and done that a few times. I came by it honestly. I got me 8 babies that I birthed, but yeah, it was mortifying. But you know what? When I got back to think about it, I thought, you know what? I'm just bloated, and you can just see my stomach is distended, and I really did look like I was pregnant. And I was wearing this shirt, and it has this little gathered top, and it kind of gathers right under my bust and then flares out. And so it kind of looks like a baby doll top you would wear when you're pregnant. And so, yeah, I looked pregnant. I didn't realize I looked pregnant. I looked in the mirror and I was like, hot dang it, I look pregnant. And you know what, guys? No one has ever asked me, a stranger, when I was due ever in my entire life. And I have birthed 8 babies. When I was pregnant with my very first baby, on my due date, an old boyfriend happened to walk into the restaurant where I was at. And we were talking back and forth, and I was like, yeah, I'm pregnant. I'm having a baby. I'm due today. And he looked me up and down, and he goes, you're not pregnant. Story of my life. True story. No one has ever thought I was pregnant. I've only ever looked fat. And so it was actually kind of cute and pleasant that because I was gassy and bloated, someone actually thought I had a little baby in there, which was kind of fun because that's never happened to me before. But anyway, so needless to say, I'm kind of out of it today, and the trip was fun, but now I'm dealing with the aftermath, and it's not pretty, ladies. Not pretty, gentlemen. It is not pretty. So yeah, 208. It's a bummer. But that's my story. If you guys want to ask me any questions, I'll open it up to questions. I'm going to run through your comments real quick and see if I can find anything we can chat about. I'm sure there's something in there. I just wanted to get that all out because I needed to talk about it to somebody. And I know you guys want to know, right? I know you guys want to know how hard it was. But I was gonna say it was really hard to find keto food in the South. I don't know what we were doing wrong, but the only time I actually got a meal that I felt like was freaking satisfying was when we went to Chili's, and I got the what did I get? I got the steak fajitas with. I substituted instead of beans and rice. I got extra guacamole and a side salad. Oh my gosh, that was the best food that I had the whole time, and it was at Chili's, which is not my favorite restaurant. So you got to know it was bad if Chili's makes me happy. There you go. All right, I'm going to look through your comments. Let's see. Oh, Wendy, you're here. Hi. It was so good to meet you. You're so cute. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Yeah, the analytics was not fun to see either. Let's see. Okay, Jana. Oh, hey, Jana. Good to see you here. Oh, crud. You got bit, Karen? I didn't get bit by any bugs. It was a true and utter miracle. The bugs you guys have over there in the South is pretty nasty. I'll tell you what, those things are scary. I can't believe I didn't get bit, but it kind of doesn't surprise me because even here in Utah, everyone can get bit alive by mosquitoes, and I don't. I never do. Oh, you missed me. I know a couple people were like, where's your update? And I'm like, sorry. I couldn't give you guys an update because I literally couldn't open my eyes on Sunday at all. Like, yeah, I would, yeah. Yeah, anyway. Oh, Raven Dreams, I'm so glad that you're going to start keto. That's awesome. Welcome, welcome. Oh, what classes do I teach? So it's a homeschool co-op kind of thing. And it starts on Thursday. I teach a language arts class for girls that's based on female hero figures. And we study them, and we have usually a theme for the year. I think the theme this year is faith. Last year it was humility. It's been courage. It's been allegiance. And we just kind of have that overarching theme. And I teach the girls each week about a great hero. And I haven't even decided on which hero we're doing on Thursday. That's where I'm at right now. And then I also teach a little history class. Last year I did like an overview of early American history, and this year we're doing like a colonial overview of colonial times compared to now. So we're doing like then, now, and the future kind of thing with each little thing they did in the colonies. So each thing they built, like the wig makers and the courthouse and the schoolhouse and things like that. And luckily that one is mostly being written out, and all I have to do is teach it, which is pretty easy because I think my age group for that class is pretty young. I think I have like 6 to 8 year olds, something like that. So that class should be no problem. The other one, 8 to 12-year-old girls, they love me, and they understand that I'm not always put together, and I can usually come up with stuff on the fly. I'm sure you can imagine. Anyway, I am glad you guys are watching my ballet video. It's really, really hilarious. Yeah, wow. I had no idea everything was so deep fried in the South. I mean, I kind of always thought that was a cliche, maybe, kind of deal. I don't know. I couldn't believe it. Oh, and I had my first experience with someone, like, trying to convince me to, like, kind of making fun of me for me being on keto. It was at the family, like, get-together brunch thing, and it was the brother-in-law. I don't know who he was, really. Can't remember his name, even. Dang it. Anyway, they had some divine, apparently the best cinnamon rolls ever baked on the planet there. And as I walked by, I admired them, I smelled them, and the gentleman next to me told me I should take one. And then he kind of giggled. Now, this whole family, of course, is very aware that we do keto. They're very aware. And so he was just trying to be funny, you know, and I said, oh no, thank you. I can't have that. I'm choosing not to have that, you know, and he's like, no, it's keto. We made it keto for you guys. And I just looked that boy straight in the eye and I was like, boy, that's not funny. You don't mess around with someone like that. And I'm like, it's obvious that it's not keto. I'm not stupid. You're trying to trick me into eating something that I shouldn't eat? Boy, I have lost 180 pounds. You want to be messing with that? And he was just like, sorry. And I'm like, don't you mess with me. I'm not, I mean, I don't want to offend people, but come on. Like, it's not funny. It's not funny at all. It's not funny you mess with me. I'm going to take you down. But that was the only time that I felt like uncomfortable with it. But yeah, it was so hard to find anything. And like, my brother didn't really want to go anywhere. It was rough. Anyway, in the past. I didn't really get a chance to rest up. I tried. I rested in the afternoon, and then the baby slammed his finger in the door. I didn't really feel like I got enough rest. I slept really well last night. I didn't edit any videos last night. I had already done the ballet video in the plane ride on the way home. Luckily, I had figured out how to edit some things on my phone while I was gone. So that was good. So I didn't feel like I was completely wasting all of my time. But yeah, I didn't really get enough rest, I don't feel like. I still feel like I'm low on my electrolytes, but I've taken so much Soli this morning that now I have diarrhea. I can't get enough in me, and I can't keep enough in me at this point. So I don't know exactly what's up with my body. It's going to be a few days before it's getting back to normal, I'm afraid. But I do appreciate that you guys think I look good still. I appreciate that. Feel like death. What was the pill? I actually don't know. I didn't ask her what it was. I shouldn't have taken some random pill without researching it, maybe. I don't know. I was just trying not to inconvenience anyone, you know. I was trying to make sure that my injury didn't inconvenience anyone, because I felt like the entire trip I was just being a complete inconvenience. I was taking too much time. I was in the way. I don't know. I just never really felt comfortable the whole trip. And so I didn't want my injury to cause even more trouble. You know, I didn't want to be like, pull over, I got to get out of the car, I'm dying kind of thing. I wanted them to just be able to drive straight through. But yeah, I had no idea it was going to knock me out like that. I've never taken one before. Hi, Diane. And the likelihood of me getting hidden carbs is probably pretty high, because I couldn't know what was in things. So, like, you know, I know that they made scrambled eggs, and I didn't really watch if they put anything in. I really don't think there was anything in the bacon and the scrambled eggs and that I ate. There might have been some hidden carbs in a couple of the sausages, but I felt like I should eat everything keto that they put out, because they made the effort at the brunch. And then I didn't get to eat lunch because I was chatting with the girls, and they went to Wendy's to eat without me, apparently, and I didn't know that. And then I went to the wedding, and the only thing they had to eat at the wedding, so they had like fried chicken, loaded mashed potatoes. I don't even think, did they have salad? I don't even think they had salad. They had green beans wrapped in bacon. I thought those were probably safe, so I ate those. They had some veggies, so I had some like cauliflower, a couple of carrots, and some peas. But maybe the peas and carrots combined with everything else I'd eaten in the day, maybe it was just a little too much for my system. I didn't use a dip of any kind. I just used sour cream to dip them in. And they had a bacon wrapped shrimp, which I took one bite of, and that was all I could stomach, because I am not a shrimp person. I didn't have any of the cake, though who knows, I could have absorbed that delicious looking cake by osmosis. Oh my gosh, the cake was everywhere, and it looked so good. And I've not been tempted like that in a long time. I wanted a bite of that cake, but I did not take one, because I knew that if I took one bite of that cake, it's going to be all she wrote for my vacation. That was not happening. So I ate my green beans and my cauliflower. And then we went to Walmart and I got the little cheese wrapped prosciutto things, some yogurt, which who knows, maybe having the yogurt on top of those other veggies or whatever, maybe that threw me. I probably also had a protein bar. I'm sure I probably had a protein bar at least once during the day. And it might have been just a combo of all those things. But I don't know. I had way too many protein bars, which I'm sure was probably not the best choice, but it was literally the only choice. I had a lot of almonds, a couple pieces of cheese, a lot of Diet Coke. What is with the Southern people into Diet Coke? Get with the times, people. Get with the times. The only place I could find Coke Zero, I found it at Chili's. And where else? I found it. Oh, good grief. Who's calling me? Go away. I found it at Chili's and I found it at the gas station. And that was the only place I found it the whole time we were there. Everyone else had Diet Coke. Even the airplane had Diet Coke. Sigh. Frontier. It's so cheap. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think it was probably just the protein bars and whatever. I don't know. Yeah. Sure, I got kicked out of ketosis. I feel like crap. It better be that. Geez, Karen, I'm glad you got some sleep. 10 hours. That's awesome. Karen's so awesome. She said she would have driven me all the way back to Atlanta and then back to her house. And that would be like a 7-hour trip or something crazy. Girl, you were just the best. I could just tell. Vincent, I'm so glad that you're doing keto and being successful. That's just awesome. I just really hope it changes your life. I think about you a lot. And I just really, really hope this is your answer. Let's see. What do you think bit you, Karen? Do you think it was those wood ant things? Or was it like some kind of fly? Or I don't know. Sharon, Meryl, if you live in Pleasant Grove, we should get together right now. When I feel a little better, maybe we could find some time on a Saturday morning to get together. Let's see. My hair looks cute. It's in a little bun. I just put it up to take a bath because I thought if I could take the hottest bath on the planet, maybe my muscles will relax enough for me to do that ballet class tomorrow. I am dreading that ballet class now because my leg still hurts so bad. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it tomorrow. We'll see. HC Kaylin. Oh, Kaylin, that's you. Now I know who you are. Is this the Kaylin that I met? I hope so. You were super cute. Let's see. Wendy Beach Mom says she's feeling like she needs to hurry. She was 230 when I was 230, and she's still only 227. She feels like she's off schedule and she wants to be 200. There's no schedule, and that's the thing. Like, you got to remember, my macros worked really, really well for me for a really, really long time. And the reason I've slowed down now is because I am not using my macros. I am overeating. I definitely overate my fats and proteins on that trip. Possibly my carbs too. And I mean, I didn't eat any candy or bread or anything like that, but I ate so much of food that was supposedly keto approved that I may have kicked myself out just because I ate so much of it. Because I just felt like I couldn't get satisfied. I don't know. It was weird. So don't beat yourself up. You can only just keep moving forward. Tomorrow's a new day. Don't compare yourself to other people. Get on my Facebook group. Get your macros. Stick to your macros and just be patient. Don't forget your electrolytes. All of those awesome things that I'm always talking about. It really does work. And even when you have hard times, if you just get right back in on it, I mean, I know at least that if I get back in on it, everything's going to be fine. I don't have to worry about it because I know it's just going to be fine. It's hard right now today because I'm tired and miserable. But tomorrow I probably will be okay. You never know. So that's just the way you got to take it. One day at a time. Try not to pay attention to the numbers. Make action goals instead of pounds goals. So that will keep you from comparing yourself to other people. And you're not the only one. Like, there's a lot of people that were the same weight as me around that time, 230, and are still kind of hanging around there. You're not the only one. So maybe make a post on the Facebook page. Maybe we can tweak your macros and see where you're at and see what might be the cause of it. See if there's anything we can do to improve it. And if not, you just got to be patient. I mean, if you're dealing with any thyroid issues or PCOS or anything like that, you're just going to have a harder time losing, and that's just a fact. If you don't have any of those things, we might be able to tweak and see how it goes. So join my Facebook group or send me an email, ketoks@gmail.com, and I'm happy to help you see if we can figure that out. Oh, I think it's terrible when people tell you, like, I've never had anyone lie to me like that and tell me that things were keto that weren't. Did I ever have a stall? Technically, no. Unless you count this summer. But I can't really call it a stall because I'm not really eating. I'm eating more maintenance macros. So if I'm maintaining because I'm eating maintenance macros, I don't really consider that to be a stall. Plus, I have lost inches and a pound size. So I can't really call that a stall either, because even though the scale hasn't really moved, my inches have moved, and you can see in photos that things have changed. So I technically have not had a true stall. I've had lapses where my weight goes up and then back down and then up and then back down, or it kind of stays the same for a while and then drops. I've definitely had times like that, but I don't consider any of them to be a true stall, because to me a true stall is 6 weeks with no progression whatsoever while eating the perfect macros. So if I'm eating my exact macros and my body fat hasn't changed, my measurements hasn't changed, my size hasn't changed, pictures haven't shown any difference, and my scale hasn't changed, that's a stall, and that needs to be addressed. If you haven't met all of those above criteria, you're still losing, you're still moving forward, just keep on keeping on. Okay, let's see. Vincent, I'm glad nobody's done that to you. I hope they don't. Nobody has done that to me in my real life here in Utah. No one has been rude to me in any way. They've all been understanding. They've all been happy for me. No one would ever like tell me I could eat something and not, let me eat it, not knowing, thinking that it was safe. I don't know. That's just terrible. Karen, I didn't know I was hungry. I didn't know I was hungry when I was with you. It wasn't until the dinner when I realized there was not going to be crab legs that I got stressed out. Because the whole time the bride's mom, she kept saying, just focus on the crab legs, honey. Just focus on the crab legs, whenever her daughter was getting stressed out. And so I was thinking there's going to be crab legs at this dinner. And I was like, dang, crab legs, I can eat that. They didn't have crab legs. Apparently the crab legs were the honeymoon dinner. Whoops. So this whole time I didn't plan ahead because I thought that there was going to be food I could eat. Big mistake. So thank you, Karen, but don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. What's the difference between Diet Coke and Coke Zero? Diet Coke tastes like crap. That's what the difference is. It's just taste. Coke Zero is a tiny bit sweeter, tastes more like real Coke. And Diet Coke has a aftertaste, and it just tastes medicine-y to me, or like perfume. But a lot of people love it, so there you go. Holy crap, there's a rainbow unicorn bang? No, I haven't tried it. I didn't even know such a thing exists. But I must find it. I haven't had any bang in days. That's another thing I could not find there. Where's the bang? I'm losing my mind. And my brother, of course, the whole time my brother's looking at me like, why do you drink so much soda? Why do you drink so much caffeine? And I'm like, so I don't kill people. I need my soda. Give me my soda. Ay, ay, ay. Vincent, that is awesome. I'm so, so happy for you. Your numbers are looking good and your weight is going down. That's just great. That's awesome. Oh, I'm so sorry you got bit, Karen. I am so grateful I didn't, because if I had had bites on top of everything else, that may have actually killed me. Teresa, you could totally do that ballet class. Those girls were so nice to me. Did you see any of them making fun of me? No. They were so super sweet, those little girls. They didn't even act weird at all. Like, all of them were happy that I joined the class. No one seemed to be annoyed by it. And if they were, they kept it to themselves. Whoever's knocking on my door, you gotta go away. Who is it? Bet it's Ruby. She'll do that. Just, you know. Let's see. Okay, so Trinity Carpenter asks, I got completely off track. What's the best way to just get back in? Okay, the best way, I'll tell you, the best way not to get back in, okay? The best way not to get back in is to do a water fast or an egg fast or a fat fast or any ridiculous fad fast. Do not waste your time. It takes about the same amount of time to get into ketosis if you just lower your carbs to under 20 as it does if you do all those ridiculous fasts, which all they do is just make your macros lower anyway. It doesn't really do anything. So my best advice to you is to go on my Facebook page, get your macros, plan your meals ahead, and stick to them. Do not give yourself any leeway. There's no more going off the wagon. You just say, this is what I am doing. Even if it's just today. If you can only deal with today, say, today this is what I'm eating. It's in my tracker. I am sticking to this. And just keep doing it every single day. Once you get through that first week, you're golden. It's that first week, it's going to be killer. You're going to die. You're going to feel like you're going to die. It sucks. Getting back into ketosis is harder than doing it the first time. It's another reason why I really don't want to get kicked out. And I'm really not happy about how I'm feeling right now. But I also know how to do it. And the way you do it is to just go right back into under 20 carbs per day and getting in your electrolytes. That's the only thing that's going to work to get you in ketosis. The only way you can get into ketosis faster is by exercising in addition to doing that, but I do not recommend it because you'll be miserable. Yes, you will get into ketosis faster, but you will feel like sucky crap. So honestly, it's just patience. Patience and plugging through, making an action goal and sticking to it. Find a way to be accountable. If it's accountability partner that you check in with every 3 hours, and say, I'm barely hanging on, talk me down. Whatever it's got to be, you got to make it through that first hard week. And after that, you should be good. So that's my advice. Just get right back into it. And don't listen to that voice in the back of your head. Don't listen to that voice telling you you can't do it. Don't listen to that voice telling you you're going to die if you don't have that sugar. It is not true. It is lying to you. Lying, and don't listen to it. So that's the best way, is just stick to your guns and get some accountability. All right. Bye, Vincent. It was good to have you. All right. Let's see. I'm dying with that. I was dying over there without the bang. I mean, at least they had some monsters. But yeah, it's been, yeah. Okay. So Claudia, you've been stuck without losing weight for 2 weeks. You haven't changed your keto eating. I need to know some answers to some questions. What type of keto are you doing? Are you doing the regular high-fat keto? Are you doing my higher protein, lower fat macros? How long have you been keto? Has your measurements changed? What else? How are your electrolytes? Are you getting 5,000 milligrams of sodium a day? Are you getting 300 milligrams of magnesium a day? Are you getting 1,000 to 3,500 potassium in food? Are you tracking your electrolytes? If you aren't doing those things, you should be. What else? I don't know. Answer those questions as best you can. And so, like, how long you been keto, what type of keto you're doing, what your macros will look like, and maybe we can go from there. But I might not have time on this live. We'll see. If I don't, you can always email me or message me put a message on the group on Facebook, and we can troubleshoot you. Diet Mountain Dew, I really haven't gotten into it, but I was pretty much willing to try anything over there. Anything my brother would let me stop and get. He was like, I don't drink soda. And I'm like, well, you weigh like 110 pounds and you're 6'7", I swear. He like no big. He doesn't understand my need for my soda. I don't get as much sleep as I need. And soda is what like helps me go so long between meals without thinking about food, like it's what keeps my mouth busy. And he doesn't know that because he doesn't have trouble with that. So, on the Facebook page, there's no link to calculate macros. There is a PDF. It is in the pinned post, which is right underneath where it says announcements at the top of the page. And it's a PDF, and it gives all the instructions on how to do what I do. And in that PDF, there's a chart based on height and sex. that will tell you your macros that you stick to. So it's not really a calculator, and it's not based on activity level. It's based on average lean body mass for a person of that height and that sex. Does that make sense? We got those numbers we used our own math to come up with those numbers based on what Dr. Finney recommended in his vlog on virtahealth.com, VIRTAHEALTH. Wow, my brain's really not working. virtahealth.com, he has a blog, and on his blog, he has a lot of articles, but the one that we used for our macros was his article on protein. And then our fats number, we based on a 500 calorie deficit for the average person. So it can be lowered a little bit more. I don't recommend going below 50 grams of fat unless you want to become a raging lunatic who likes to kill people. Okay, it's not that bad, but it's hard to go under 50. Let's just put it that way. If you're going under 50, it's considered a fad diet. I don't recommend doing that. So, any more questions? Let's see. B12 energy shots from the Dollar Tree? No, I have not. My multivitamin has B vitamins. I think B12 is one. And also, I take an occasional Zip Fizz to get occasional bump of B12, but I haven't tried those. I might have to check it out. I don't go to the Dollar Tree very often, but I might see if they have it. Okay, so she's doing the higher protein, lower fat, 20 carbs a day. Carbs come from veggies. I don't know what Ultimate Powder is, but I would assume it's... I honestly don't know. An electrolyte drink? Is that it? I don't know. If you're doing all of that, my advice to you, wait it out, because it's only been 2 weeks, and probably this week it's going to go back down. That's my pattern almost always. I will usually put on a little bit of water weight, hold that water weight, dump a whole crap ton of it, and then have a little loss. And that is my 4-week cycle, and you can probably almost bank on it unless I do something weird, like travel to the other side of the country. So 2 weeks is not long enough to make a judgment call. If it's been 6 and you have had no measurement change and no weight change, you may want to look into lowering your fat macro a bit. If you want to mess with it, you can. The best way to start messing with it, if you haven't done this already, is to do 6 days where your fat grams are 10 under what you're recommended. So my fat grams are 78. So I would try and do 68 for 6 days. And then on the 7th day, I would do a fat day that's high as my protein, which is basically a maintenance level macro day. So I would do a 120 fat, 120 protein day to try and jog everything loose. But one thing I've learned is, like, really when it comes to this schedule that I have of water weight and not water weight, it doesn't seem to make a difference what I do. I've tried so many different things, and sometimes I'll think, oh wow, that really worked, and then I'll try it again and it doesn't work. It's just my body does what it wants, and it just keeps trending downward. So I'm just going to keep on going. And it may be slower and it may take more time, but it's still going down. And that's my only advice I can give you is, like, what happens to me. So give it 2 more weeks. If you haven't had a loss on the scale, then you might want to consider maybe fine tuning your macros. And when I say fine tuning, really the only thing you can do is to know your exact body fat to the best of your ability. So using the Navy body fat calculator, or best getting a bod pod or a DEXA scan, knowing your body fat percentage, then you can go on ketogains.com and plug in your numbers there and get a more personal number for your personal body. Like, the numbers we're giving out are very average. They're based on the average lean mass. You may have more or less lean mass, so you may need more or less protein if you go by your actual lean mass. Does that make sense? I hope that helps. You just started working at the Dollar Tree? Well, Teresa, you have to send me some of those B12 energy shots. Oh, yeah. Don't be surprised. The Soleil water. So Sasha said she just started the Soleil water because she was getting cramps. Don't be surprised if the Soleil water makes you retain water for a bit if you haven't been having it. And if you got to the point where you're having muscle cramping, probably you were too low. And so you may retain water for about a week once you start the Soleil. But if you just keep it up, eventually your body will drop it back off. That is something that seems to be very common with people who did keto and didn't do their electrolytes and they got too low. It even happens to me when I get too low now, still, even 19 months in or whatever it is that I'm at. I don't know what I am at this point. It's September. I guess that's 19 months or 20 months. I don't know. What is it? I've lost track. Right, if it's only $1, I have a hard time not spending money too. Do I take apple cider vinegar? No, I do not. I never really have. I don't really have issues with my gut health. I do if I don't do my yogurt, so maybe my body really likes the probiotics in the yogurt. I don't know. Haven't really had any reason to take apple cider vinegar. I'm not a Berg fan, and that's one of his things, so I kind of don't do it. I don't know. But that's great. If it's helping you, awesome. Awesome, awesome. Take it if it's helping you with anything. I just don't have any need to take it that I'm aware of. Plus, it's just one more thing to deal with taking. And in my busy life, it probably will just get overlooked and forgotten anyway if I try to do it. So I just don't do it. It's hard enough for me to keep up with Soleil water and magnesium and a multivitamin, let alone adding something else like that into it. I just don't even have time in the day to hardly take care of myself. So yeah, it is what it is. All right, anybody else have a question? Or are we done for the day? We're going to be done early? That's weird. Oh, yeah. Apple cider vinegar is supposed to help with your blood sugar? Interesting. I did not know that. What is my favorite sweetener? Okay. Leave your tongue cold? That's interesting. That I don't know anything about. I've never had an experience like that. I use stevia in almost everything. I get the liquid stevia drops, what are they called? Sweet Drops brand. I usually get a big old bottle of them, and they last quite a long time. That's what I put in my herbal tea and my Creo brew, which is the roasted cocoa beans that I sometimes make. Probably start making that more often. I do use erythritol occasionally, but not really often because I don't do a lot of keto treats. Erythritol is best for keto treats. I've heard good things about monk fruit. I don't personally use it unless it's in a product that I buy. Like I know that the keto cakes that I buy, I know that monk fruit is one of the things that they use. Pure, I think that one is stevia, isn't it? Pure erythritol stevia blend, maybe? Not sure. Yeah, it's erythritol stevia. Yeah, that one is great. I've used it, but it wasn't my favorite. I don't like erythritol in my tea. I don't think it tastes that good. I just really prefer straight stevia drops. And then, of course, I use Mio for everything else. I'm not kidding. I use Mio to sweeten just about everything. And Mio has sucralose, and most of my favorite sodas are also sucralose sweetened. I think Splenda is sucralose, and you can get liquid Splenda, but I have not actually tried that in my herbal tea. I should. Do I take collagen? I don't. Don't take it. My hair falls out a lot and comes back, and I don't take it. I just don't really feel the need to take it. I took biotin and collagen for a little while when I panicked about my hair falling out, and then I just kind of was over it. The main thing I do take for my hair is D3. I feel like the vitamin D3 has given me the most benefit out of all the things I've taken for my hair. Oh, wait. Did I miss something? Teresa, your migraine is gone? Oh. Oh, that's such a relief. I'm so happy. I was really worried about you. Stress can be nasty. I mean, stress is killing me right now. I am feeling it so hard. And I usually don't. I'm not like a high stress person. And my body usually deals with stress pretty well. But I can definitely see that happening. I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if my muscle cramping is partly because of the stress I was under emotionally and just manifesting in my And this is not like this thing in my leg is an actual injury. This is not just a low electrolyte thing. I definitely know the difference between a Charlie horse and this. This is painful. I think I've actually torn something. I don't know. I'm probably not going to be able to do ballet tomorrow, and that sucks so bad. Cuz I feel like if I don't do it now, like maybe I would quit, but I don't really want to quit. I had a good time. I looked like a friggin' moron in that class, I'll tell you what. It was hard. It was really hard. And I'm trying to keep up with 10-year-olds, you know, and looking like an idiot. Oh my gosh, let's not talk about that. Okay, let's see. Anything else? Yogurt. Okay, so my view on the yogurt is that you can count half the carbs because the lactic acid, no. What do you call them? Active cultures eats the sugars and converts them to lactic acid. I have seen conflicting information on this. I don't know that there's a scientific study that says it. What I do know is that I have literally eaten yogurt almost every single day that I have been doing keto, and I have lost 180 pounds. So I don't really know if maybe I just have a higher carb threshold and maybe I'm doing 30 carbs per day, but I only count half the carbs in my tracker. And I use the Greek yogurt because it has higher protein. I am taking it in because I want higher protein without the fat. That's literally the reason I started using it. But I have found that if I don't eat it, I just feel awful. I get gassy like I am now. In fact, maybe that's part of the problem is I didn't have very much yogurt on my trip. I only had the one little container of Chobani, which isn't the best brand because they didn't have the small containers of Fage at Walmart when I went. And I just need it. I found that I just am not happy without it. And that's just me. Just because I eat it doesn't mean everybody has to eat it. A lot of people do because I eat it, but that's it. I do have a video on that whole thing if you want to go and watch it. There's articles all over the internet that talk about for and against that theory. So take it with a grain of salt. Literally, I can't guarantee that it has half carbs, but I personally count only half of them. Does that make sense? So say my cup of yogurt has 7 carbs, I only count 3.5. All right. Let's see. St. John's wort. I could, but I just don't want one more thing to take. I'll just never remember to take it. Yeah, avoid the dry sweeteners, even dry sweet stevia. Most of them have fillers that are not carb friendly. So unless you're getting straight erythritol that has no fillers for baking, stick to liquid sweeteners whenever you can, because those dry ones are sketchy. Okay. Yeah, so Teresa's been eating the yogurt and it's helping her. I think some people can do the yogurt and some people can't. Some people, dairy products give them inflammation, and some people, they do the opposite. For me, I feel like I get inflammation if I don't have it. But I have kids who are actually allergic to milk, who can't have it at all. I have 3, actually, of my 9 children who cannot eat milk products. So, there you go. I also have one that is allergic to wheat, and one that we suspect is allergic to citrus, but he won't listen. All right, girlies. I think it's time for me to go. I've got a lot to do before I have to leave for dance, and as much as I love chatting, and this has been awesome, I do feel tired and miserable still. So, I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to take my leave. If you guys are getting here later and you are watching this when it's not live, I appreciate all the minutes you spend watching this channel and helping me with my views and my hours that I need to keep up my channel. I really appreciate it. Please feel free to leave a thumbs up emoji in the comments so that I know you made it here and I can give you a high five. And we'll talk to you all again soon.